Magic fans, I'm Beef and welcome back to another standard gameplay video, this time featuring a Jund aggro deck. So Jund is red, green and black, and this plays out primarily as a red aggro deck. We've got the standard Monastery Swift Spear, Monstrous Rage, Slick Shot Show Off and Fugitive Codebreaker and Commander Faces Kakazan, but when we add in other red cards, Cacophony Scamp, which you sometimes see in red aggro decks. It's 1 mana 1/1. When it deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice it. If you do proliferate, that bit's not really relevant. But when it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. We have Mirren Bane Splitter, a 1 mana equipment with flash. When it ETBs, you attach to a target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +2/+0, and you can equip it normally for 3. And then Picnic Ruiner is probably the finisher of the deck. A 2 mana 2/2 says whenever it attacks while you control a creature with power 4 or greater, it gains double strike at the end of turn. Also has an adventure for 4. Distribute 3+1/+1 counters among any number of creatures you control. Now, interestingly, this doesn't say other creature. So if this has 4 power, it will get double strike. So if you buff it with Monstrous Rage, which will give it trample and give it 4 power, it will then get double strike. By adding green, we get Audacity, a very powerful enchantment. Enchant creature, equipped creature gets +2/+0 and trample. Again, put this on the Picnic Ruiner and it gets double strike when it attacks. But also, when it's put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you draw a card. So it does replace itself if the creature you put it on gets killed. We also have Aloe Alchemist, a 2 mana 3/2 with trample, which is pretty good anyway. And you can plot it for 2, and when you do plot it, target creature gets +3/+2 and gains trample to end of turn. A very nice buff for a turn. And our other card is Callous Sellsword. So it's a 2 mana 2/2. When it ETBs, you put a +1/+1 counter on it for each creature that died under control this turn. But I don't expect to be casting it that often because the adventure side, Burn Together, is a sorcery for 1 red mana, and target creature you control deals damage to equal to its power to any other target, then sacrifice it. So the idea is, like prowess decks, we buff our creatures, get in with the Picnic Ruiner, which will hopefully have double strike. If we buff up Cacophony Scamp really high, we can then sacrifice it and kill our opponent or our creature, or we can sacrifice a creature with Burn Together and face our opponent that way. Mana base, 3 mountains, 3 forests, a Kenzan and a Boseiju. And then we have the Fast Lands, Copperline Gorge for red and green, Black Cliffs for red and black. So if we do want to cast a Sellsword, we can. And then we've got Carplusion Forest as the Painlands. That's the deck. Let's see how it goes. Remember, if you all enjoy it, please remember to like and subscribe. It does wonders for the channel. And I will see you all in the gameplay. Suppose we can get down the Swift Spear turn 1 and then Monstrous Rage it and Audacity at turn 2. Get in for a big hit. No point doing it instant speed, really. Yeah. At least we draw a card. Let's play out the Codebreaker and the Scamp. Next turn we can plot the Alchemist and buff one of our creatures. Although I expect whichever one we do will get removed. So they need removal or a blocker. I'm sure they have... Well, I'm sure they've got removal then. Yep. There's no point playing out Audacity now. Well, Kumano will ping on 1 for 1. So we just need a Monetary Swift Spear, Fugitive Codebreaker, Slick Shot Show Off. They're going to need 2 removal spells now. They might have a cut down. They just took the Swift Spears. Yeah, they didn't have the extra removal spell. Maybe they just forgot about etchings. Yeah, a bit of a tough game. We ended. I don't think we got hit once. They didn't really play anything apart from removal spells, but we got through it in the end. Sure, Swift Spear, Codebreaker. We don't have any ways to trigger prowess. I will play Kumano. Going for 2. So let's play out the Swift Spear, play out the Scamp. And then Audacity, the Swift Spear. Swing in. Might just be dead. They're thinking about something. That was an odd attack because the Guardian of New Banana hasn't got trample. And I think we do just have lethal here. Let's see where they block. Yeah. We could have put that on the show off and it would only be able to lethal by itself. We can Commando into Picnic Ruiner. Hopefully pick up a green land for Audacity. I imagine they've got a counter either. Well, maybe not. But they do have removal. Of course they do. Let's get down the Picnic Ruiner. They got a counter for that. Well, we'll put the Audacity on the etching. I've no idea why they scooped. They were in a much better position than we were, but maybe they ran out of ways to stop someone else playing the game as opposed to them actually playing the game themselves. Can Commando, then Swift Spear, and maybe Monstrous Rage to buff it a lot. See what we're up against. Good use of Monstrous Rage to block cut down essentially, but I'm sure they've got, yep, more removal. Let's play the Picnic Ruiner.
To help, but I'm taking the credit when we win. Sacrifices must be made.
I think we might just have lethal now. Yeah. That showed the power of the deck and how quick it can be. So we can turn 1 Kumano, turn 2 Swift Spear, and then maybe put Audacity on it. It look like we're up against the standard mono red deck. Yeah, they're going to put Demonic Ruckus on that. This might just be a slap off, for lack of a better word. But we can plot the Alchemist. And they essentially have to remove both creatures now because we have a second Alchemist. Unless they can kill us now. Which they can, fair enough. Well, you know, if we were on the play, I think we would have won that, but that's just how it goes. No turn 1 play, so I think this is a mulligan. We'll keep this. And I think we put back the Alchemist. But we are on the draw as well. So we'll put Audacity on our Swift Spear. And then put Monstrous Rage. Swinging for 8. We do draw a card. Is that something? Swift Spear's an okay draw. Let's make use of all our mana. We really need a non-creature spell. That is not a... Well, we would have lost, so they shouldn't have scooped. We didn't have a non-creature spell to trigger Prowess, so we only had 4 damage. So, but obviously they didn't know that. We don't have any way to trigger prowess, but hopefully we draw into it. We are on the play. We do turn 1 Swift Spear, turn 2 Swift Spear and Cacophony Scamp. Or maybe Picnic Ruiner, depending on what we draw. Audacity was a good draw. They have their own Swift Spear, buff to a 2/3 from Kamano. Second Kamano. Not attacking, that is an interesting choice. But we don't have any way to trigger prowess, so we're in a pretty bad spot as well. And they have almost their entire hand. I think I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to get down the Picnic Ruiner. Hopefully it survives. They have a play with fire. So it's not going to survive. Yeah, so we're going to have to block. We'll block the Swift Spear. We'll block one of the Kamanos. And I think that'll be it. I'm still fairly certain they've got play with fire. Or do us have 2 lightning strikes? Yes, they did. Oh well. We have a okay hand. We can Kamano into Slick Shot. And we are on the play as well. Turn 2, we'll play Slick Shot. And then turn 3, Cacophony Scamp and maybe Audacity of a Slick Shot. Assuming everything survives. We might be against life gain. Or just Boros. Well, let's pump up this etching as high as we can. And play out a Scamp. It tapped in a really odd way there. Well, let's play out the Alchemists. And let's swing in. And then I believe that is lethal. There we go. A very quick match there. Cacophony Scamp can be very powerful when you buff its power and then sacrifice it for lethal, which it showed there. So turn 1, Mano, turn 2, Slick Shot or Code Breaker, and then we'll see what we draw. Another Kamano. Yeah, they've got their own Slick Shot. I'm just going to play mine out with the buff from Kamano, swing in. They're probably going for the Alpha Strike by the looks of it. So we will play out the Kamano. Swing in. And then Sellsword. Yeah, -11. Well, hit him for 11, sorry, down to -6. So we got them down from, what was that, 17 or 18, down to -6 in one go. It shows the deck can be incredibly powerful when it all comes off. Well, no red mana. So this is an easy mulligan. This is better. I think we get rid of the Code Breaker. But we are obviously behind, especially if we're against the mirror, which we seem to be. I don't see how we win this one now. Especially as I imagine whatever creature we play is just going to get taken out. But we will try. Play out the Picnic Ruiner. Hopefully they decide to go for the big hit. Yeah, we're just done. Having a mulligan because we didn't have any red mana, and being on the play against mono red, we were always going to lose that one. So turn 1 Scamp, turn 2 Ruiner, then turn 3 hopefully the Ruiner can get double strike, assuming everything survives. Yep. Well, we've got another one, so... It's fine. We will play out the Kamano. Try and buff the Scamp. That's fine. And we'll put this on the Ruiner so it gets trample, so it really benefits from that double strike. Maybe they're doing a salty rope already. At which point, just concede. Oh, no, they are alive. They're double blocking. Fair enough. There's not a huge point double blocking because it does damage when it dies anyway, so... This smells like a Wandering Emperor. So obviously it can take out the Ruiner, which we'll need to really. That's fine. Yeah. Kamano would have transformed into a 2-2, given his lethal, even if he had a removal for the Swiftspear. Hello Magic fans and welcome back to the wrap-up. This is actually the second time I've recorded this wrap-up video. I did it the first time after we played 10 games, and when I started editing the video, found out that because of the deck so quick, win or lose, we had barely had 20 minutes worth of video to show. So I played a few more games. 7 more games, I think, to add some more videos on, and so I'm re-recording it. After 10 games, we had a win rate of 50%, and now we have a win rate of a whopping 52%. So my thoughts haven't really changed after playing it longer. It can be an incredibly powerful deck. I think in one of the last videos, on turn 3, we took our opponent from 18 down to -6. I think it was literally turn 1 Kamano, sorry, 17 to -6. Turn 1 Kamano, turn 2 Slick Shot Show Off, get in for 2, put it at 17. Then turn 3 we had obviously the 2-2 from Kamano, and then I think we Audacity'd Monstrous Raged onto the Slick Shot Show Off, swung in, hit our opponent, and then we used the Burn Together, I think it's called the Adventure Side from Callous Sellsword, which gave the, because it's a instant or sorcery, it gave the Slick Shot Show Off an additional +2/+0, taking up to 11 power, and then flung it at our opponent's face down to -6. When it all comes off, it seems really powerful, but to do that, you need your opponent not to remove any of your creatures, you need all the right cards, you need your opponent not to get any life. So it is all a bit like you need everything to come off perfectly. And what I said in the original wrap-up, and I'll say again now, if you like this kind of get in, smash face deck, then you might as well play mono red aggro or prowess. I don't think Audacity adds a huge amount. Allo Alchemist is a big buff, but I think having removal spells, I think not having like dedicated removal spells really misses out, because the only removal we have in this deck are if Cacophony Scamp gets in and you sacrifice it to deal its power to any target, but chances are going face, and then again Burn Together from Callous Sellsword. It's a sorcery, which makes it worse than, say, Play of Fire or Lightning Strike, And again, you're going face. And if you win, it feels great. But if they've got creatures out that you need to take care of, you can't really. In one of the games that I didn't put into the video, we had an okay, opening hand, but they literally had turn 1 Luminite Aspirant, not Luminite Aspirant, Luminite Veteran, turn 2 Voice of the Blessed. And you're like, well, I've got nothing in hand to take care of Voice of the Blessed. They're just going to carry on gaining life, and pretty soon they'll have a fly and then indestructible. There is no point going on. In mono red, we may have had a couple of Purifiers or a Lightning Strike to take care of that. So that's what I would say. If you want to play this kind of deck, play mono red. I don't think adding the green or black really adds much, but it was an okay deck. It was fun to play when it goes right, but when it doesn't, it's a bit of a damp squib in my opinion. So I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.